Welcome back to Animal Appreciation. This time we are talking about starlings. Now, starlings are a quite common type of bird and also include the mynas, but for this video we're only talking about starling birds, not mynas. The probably most well-known type of starling is this one. The common starling, which you can guess by his name, is quite common. Now, its native range is throughout Europe, down to the Mediterranean, over through Asia, all the way to Mongolia. However, it has become quite invasive in North America, where it's not normally found. And the common starling is well known for forming these absolutely massive flocks that do like these synchronized aerial maneuvers as one big group. Is very cool to watch. We also have some much less well known about starling species, such as this one, the superb starling, which is native to North Africa. Countries such as Ethiopia, Somalia, and Sudan. I actually have my personal favorite of these starling species, the greater blue-eared glossy starling, which is again found in Africa, but is very, very widespread and can be found anywhere between South Africa over to Senegal over to Ethiopia. It's a very, very common starling in Africa, and more than its ear is blue, it's blue quite all over. And we also have some that are a little bit less flashy, like the Socotra starling, which is found on the island of Socotra off the coast of Yemen. And it's known for making its nest in the Socotra dragon blood trees, which I've talked about before, but basically they're trees that bleed red sap. But back to the fancy starlings, we have the golden-breasted starling. Guess why it's called that? That again lives in Africa, all the way from Kenya to Tanzania to over by Somalia. Africa in general has quite a lot of very cool looking starling species, such as the violet-backed starling, which can be found pretty much anywhere in sub-Saharan Africa, so just below the Sahara Desert. And there's also the emerald starling, one of the smallest species of starling that can be found in the more western Africa around Sierra Leone and the Ivory Coast. Then there's another one of my favorites, the splendid glossy starling, which can be found pretty much throughout the entirety of Africa. If you Google the list of countries that it's found in, it's quite a lot of them. And here again we have another one of the less flashy starlings, the chestnut-bellied starling, which is again very, very widespread through many, many countries in Africa. Then we have a little bit less widespread African starling, the Hildebrandt starling, which is only found in Tanzania and Kenya. Then we have the sharp-tailed starling, which in coloration does look very similar to the blue-eared starling. It's found in the more southern areas of Africa, around Tanzania and Botswana and Namibia. And finally, we have the metallic starling. Look at them eyeballs. That is native to Papua New Guinea and Northern Australia, as well as a few smaller islands in the surrounding area. Now, there are quite a few more species of starling, which also include the mynas, but this is just a few of my favorites that I decided to put in this video.